Before the video starts, I just want to give a quick update on the AP Kesa build since there have been a few changes from Riot. Horizon Focus is now fixed and can be built and overall does better than Shadow Flame 3rd. So I recommend going for Horizon now as a 3rd item. Also, with the new Kesa buffs, you're able to get Q Evolution at level 9 without Crystal if your mana mune has 150 stacks. Finally, if you're facing a tank top, you can ditch Mana Flow Band for Guarding the Storm and you will still get Q level 9 with Crystal. Alright, on with the video. Hey! If you remember my first video about Kesa top lane, I said I would make a second one about matchups. Well, there you go. In this video, I'm going to focus on matchup during the laning phase since it's the hardest part of Kesa top lane. Alright, let's blow up the tier list again. I made a couple of changes compared to last time based on feedback and me playing more in higher elos, but overall nothing has moved too much. Now I won't cover every single champ since that would take too long and I don't think you guys want a 1 hour video. So I'll group them together and take a couple popular examples. Last thing before we actually start, there's two things I keep in mind when I rank a champ in the list. 1. How comfortable it is to lane versus them. Champ like Singed, for example, can't do much against you since it doesn't have any good tools to get on you. And second, how much you outscale the enemy top laner. Just for example with a tricky matchup in the early game, but he falls off so hard in the mid game, meaning that although you might be behind in the lane, the fact you outscale him so hard makes it worth it. Alright, let's get into it from the hardest to the easiest. For this tier, nothing has changed. It's still a 2 recommended ban. We have a dash non-stop and a perma dive after level 6. The thing that makes Ariana so hard is that you don't have a range advantage anymore, since you can just use a caster minion to jump on you, stun you, and you die. Fun. And after level 3, she can just crash the wave and simply freeze for 10 minutes, bleeding you of any resources. Meanwhile, Thundermere, after level 6, can just perma dive you and you can't do anything because you press R. Really fun. Like for the banned ones, I would really avoid them at all costs. They're not only annoying to deal with, but they also can summon out of control really fast. The only big diff is that they are beatable if you play well. Kled, for example, only need to hit his hook a couple times and you're dead or low. In higher elos like Diamond, Kled players are pretty clean at hitting the skill shot, so it's hard to outplay them. But from my experience, in Gold and Plat, Kled players will miss more often, so it's possible to play into them. But again, it's a big risk because they just need to get lucky a couple times. This applies also to Aatrox. One of the biggest issue with him is that his Q can reach you at max auto range, and then combo you. Versus him, it's all about being able to dodge his Q by using your E, running on the left or the right, since most Aatrox players will shoot in a straight line and don't predict your movement. Alright, for this matchup they don't need to be dodged, but if you're a new Kesa top player or you don't play her that often, I still recommend not playing her into them. These champions still dominate your in lane, but the difference is that with good wave management and good spacing, they become way more bearable. Let's take the best example here, Malphite. This champion will mainly poke you with Q non-stop till you're low enough and then R you to finish you off. And with his shield passive, it's extremely hard to ever trade with him. So how exactly do you deal with someone like him? First off, it's really player dependent. If the Malphite didn't go Comet, you should be fine because his Q won't do much damage. If he did go Comet, then it's all about making the trade worth it. Kesa Q and Malphite Q have similar range, and Malph player will always try to land a Q on you when it's up. In the first 2 levels, you should be fine doing a 3-wave shove and being protected from ganks. After, and especially after level 6, it's better to try to farm close to your tower. Only get in range when you have Mana Flow Ban up, first strike up, and there is minions to farm. Only hard shove when you want to back. It's okay if you take a bad back and lose a couple CS. At the end of the day, the job is to survive till Q Evolution. At that point, you should be able to farm safely. After you get Ludens, the Malphite becomes way less scary, since you can poke him hard and since most Malphite players go armor, you don't have much tool to beat your AP. Now, if you did go AP, it's even better for you, since you can start one-shotting them. In lane, it won't make a major difference since AP Malphite only gets really scary with items completed. But it's true that you might be forced to back more than versus a tank Malphite. Alright, second example is Nasus, the low elo monster. And the unique part about him is that compared to other champions in this tier, he does scale. Now, first thing first, his scaling does not matter. It's okay if you give him a free lane. Your scaling beat his scaling in mid game. Apart from that, the only thing that Nasus can really hurt you with is Wither, especially after level 6. Nasus is the ultimate wave management test, since Nasus players don't shove wave and rather freeze, which you don't want. If before 6 the wave should not be an issue for you, after 6 it's up to you to manage the wave in a way that the Nasus never has a chance to freeze. One way to do so is to build a massive wave and pressure the Nasus into conceding the crash in this tower so the lane resets back to you. Every champ from now on is a good matchup for Kesa, and I would recommend playing into them. Now, when I say PvE, it means that there is little way for you to kill them in lane, and the enemy has little tools to kill you too. So it's a farm fest of 15 minutes. PvE lanes are also a great way to test how good you are at jungle tracking, since most of the time you will have wave control, so you decide when you want to crash, freeze, or slow push. Let's take the most popular one here, which is Ornn. Ornn has only one way to get to you. You need to land his Q, which is a slow ability that is easy to react. At the moment you respect his Q, you should be fine, since he can't do much apart from that. This means that versus him, you can push wave without being scared of getting killed, but Ornn has great gank setup with his R, so you better be sure when you push the wave, the enemy jungle is not near you because you don't want to give a free kill to a tank. The only exception here is Mordekaiser, so you can push your wave after 6 or you're gonna send you to Brazil really quickly, so stay safe near your tower. Easy matchups are two things. One, champions that have barely any tools to get on you and do not beat your scaling like I said. And two, champs that can be killed in lane, like some ranged top laners. Vayne, Ashcan, and Quinn rely on their range to poke the enemy down. Good thing for you, you also have range and a lot of burst versus them. Those are a great time to go with ulti with Ignite to punish their aggressiveness. You can also go with the new Static Shift build since it gives you access to attack speed and Noonquiver which can help you snowball those lanes. For the rest of the champion in this tier, I still recommend going for First Strike and Manamune. Now, why is Darius in easy tier? I know he looks scary and Darius is a pretty popular ban in Ranked, but versus Kai'Sa, Darius doesn't do much. The only way he gets on you is by using his summons and grabbing you, but if his summoners are down, then he's pretty much useless. Also, most Darius players are from my experience pretty aggressive and will barely freeze a wave. I don't even think they know what a freeze is, so farming should not be an issue at the moment you respect the enemy jungle. These are Kai'Sa's best matchup by far, but like I said in the beginning with Jace, it doesn't mean that you counter him that you will destroy him in lane. Jace still has a better lane than you, but the reason why Kai'Sa counter him so hard is because after Ludens, he becomes totally useless. Since you become a better version than him, basically Jace 2.0 after mid game. You have more range, more damage, you can one-shot him, lower CDs, and honestly better champion. Just remember to respect his tool in lane, which is his jump that can slow you and his poke, and punish him if he overextends because yes, you can kill him. GP is the same thing basically, respect his barrels and outscale him in the mid game. Now, Kayle is an interesting matchup, because although she might seem weak in lane, she has some pretty good poke with her Q and her E, and she will win a 1v1 all-in after level 6. But the lane itself remains pretty chill, you can farm without much contest and even poke her a lot if she doesn't respect. Finally, you don't care about her scaling. Kayles need to interact with the Twitch champion for her scaling to matter. Good thing for you, you can poke her from one screen away, making her kinda useless. Finally, Singed and Urgot, well, they're just funny to play against, because they can't do anything. At the moment you respect Singed level 1, you should be fine, he just runs around while you farm. As for Urgot, the only way he can get to you is by using his flash E, which is slow and can be reacted to. As soon as you get Ludens though, Urgot is kinda dead. He has a massive hitbox while being slow and he's not a tank. So yeah. And there you go. Now I didn't go over every single matchup in this video, or the video will be way too long, but feel free to ask any question in the comments. Now what I want to do in the future is create a series of videos where I just show my matches. If something interesting happens, I'll post a commentary during your laning phase and montage the rest of the game with some music. So if you want to keep updated on that, make sure to subscribe and thanks for watching.